I am literally so excited. This literally just came in. I dropped everything just so I can film this for you guys. I got my Greta Gremlin Skullector doll, and I was in the middle of editing a whole nother YouTube video for y'all, and I heard the dogs barking, and I thought it was my Amazon package because I had to order a new foam protector. And then I peek out, and I just see that recognizable Mattel little symbol on the box, and I was so excited. And so we're going to try not to show my information to everyone on the internet, but we're going to do an unboxing and review for this bad lady. So I haven't even gotten to see her yet, so hopefully she isn't messed up and has bad print. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh. So one reason why I'm really excited about this doll is because, one, she was just kind of announced out of the blue, like, what? We're getting a Gremlins doll. And two is for a movie that is so iconic. Maybe not the second one, but the first one. Gremlins is such an iconic movie. It is referenced everywhere. If you've ever heard the line, "Oh, don't feed them after midnight," that's Gremlins. And so for something that is so iconic, the fact that we never get any, like, really too much merch for it is sad. It's a cult classic. And so Monster High did Greta Gremlin from the second Gremlins the New Batch. And when they announced this, I binge watched the first two Gremlin movies, or the only Gremlin movies, because there's only two. And oh God, reliving that part of my, like, adolescence was so happy for me. Gremlins was always one of my favorites growing up. It was kooky, it was weird, it was a little scary, but it was fun. And so, let's see this lady! Oh my God! Oh. So, let me see if I can get in closer to y'all, because my camera's having a little trouble focusing. Oh my God, she's gorgeous, and I really love that they gave us the Gizmo as, like, the pet, but even though those two never interact, did Gizmo and Greta? No, I just watched it. They never interacted in the movie, and Greta only gets, I think, a little less than 5 minutes of screen time in Gremlins 2, but she's just iconic. The one reason I think they went ahead and dropped this doll is because of the number of complaints regarding Beetlejuice. And if you haven't seen my Beetlejuice review, go click on that video. It will be in the doll unboxing and review playlist. I'll add a link to that, or just a little clicky thingy. I don't know how YouTube works. I'm new to this. But oh my God. So what's cool about Greta is there's a number of things that are cool about her, and I'll list all those. Big one, she's the first Skullector that got her original face sculpt. All of the other ones are based off of other face sculpts, and I know I butchered listing all of those the last episode. This one, thank God I don't have to do that, because she's an original, and that is amazing. You go, girl. Another thing that's really cool about her, she is the first Monster High Skullector that's actually, like, a monster? Because, and let me get into that. So, Pennywise, even though Pennywise is like an interdimensional alien demon clown, it still looks just like a human. And then you got the Grady twins, who are not twins, by the way. I stated that last episode. They're 8 and 10, but they're the Grady twins. But they're just dead girls. They're not, like, monsters. They're just spirits. And they look human. They're not even, like ghostly. And then you got Lydia, who's just straight up a goth girl, which, I mean, that's not a bad thing. I love her design. And then you got Beetlejuice, who's just another, like, just dead person. And so this is the first one that's actually, like, full creature. That's not just a variation of a human. And it's the first one that's a color other than just, like, white. are like Caucasian, because you got Lydia and the twins who are all Caucasian individuals, and then you got Beetlejuice and Pennywise. Beetlejuice is just straight up like pure white, like kind of just dead white, and then you got Pennywise, who had kind of like a pearl color. This one, she's green, she's vibrant, and she's the first like creature monster we've gotten out of the Skullectors. And this is what I've been wanting from the Skullectors. Her. So, we got Greta Gremlins 2, the new batch, Greta Gremlin doll. How about a smooch? Oh yeah, so Greta Gremlin was a little bit of a flirt. And so, let me read the back of the box. Don't be shocked by my outrageously glam hair and my freaky fab fashion. Gizmo and I are about the ghouliest pair you'll ever meet. Sure, I used to be a basic gremlin, but after sipping the Spice of Life Lab's secret potion, hello, glow up, now I am drop dead gorgeous, especially when I reach into my killer purse, swipe on some fierce red lipstick, and pucker up for a big kiss. So what do you say? Let's cut to the chase, grab Gizmo, and run out of here before the lab explodes. Then we'll live happily ever after until death do us part. So, for those of you who don't know Greta, or know Gremlins or Greta, Gremlins is a movie about these cute little, well, cute for a short period of time. So it starts off with one, which is Gizmo. And so Gizmo, I'll just keep this open here. So Gizmo is what's called a mogwai, and he's just this cute little furry creature, and it came with these rules. Don't get it wet, don't expose it to sunlight, and don't feed it after midnight. So when you get it wet, it multiplies. When you expose it to sunlight, it dies. And when you feed it after midnight, it turns into what's called a gremlin. And so gremlins are these just horrifying little mischievous monsters that they're not as gorgeous as her, but they're mischievous, and they straight up killed people, by the way, if you didn't know that. Especially they didn't really kill anyone in the second one. First one, they just straight up were killing people. The second one was more of a comedy, and they just wanted to play on gimmicks and seeing what they could get away with. First one, they were just murdering people. Yeah, so the first one, they get rid of all the bad gremlins except Gizmo, because Gizmo was never evil. The evil ones came off of Gizmo, so it was like Gizmo's bad sides came out in this like weird asexual reproduction when it got exposed to getting wet. Ooh. And so in the second one, this happens again because somebody gets a hold of Gizmo, takes him to a biolaboratory. Yeah, you can see what happens. They all get exposed to different chemicals. After Gizmo gets wet, all these creatures multiply, and then they get evil, eat after midnight, and then they get exposed to chemicals. One of them was a gender reversal serum, or a gender switch serum, gender bend. So, they made Greta. And what's cool is Greta was the only gremlin to live. You see her at the end, trying to get in some guy's pants. Wish I was joking. And the guy was like, okay. What they did with Greta, which is a little unique, is they actually combined both the outfits. Well, Greta's seen in 3 different outfits in the movie. A leopard miniskirt and a tube top. A red kind of like Marilyn Monroe like V-cut dress. And then a wedding dress. So they combined the first 2 outfits, that leopard print and the red, to make her fashion design for this one. And so they did the leopard for her like little flared out like mini dress she has going on here, and then they were influenced, I'm assuming, by the red Marilyn Monroe dress to do her leather jacket she's got going on. And they gave her pierced ears. I don't remember her having pierced ears in the movie. So yeah, they gave her pierced ears. They gave her bright red lips. Like I said, she's an original face sculpt. Her legs are completely scaled. And she has 3 fingers. And so once I get her out of the box, because I'm going to do like I did with Beetlejuice, I'm going to get her out of the box, just not undo all the ties. And so we'll get a look, feel for the hair, and that sort of thing. But yeah, I am really happy with this because, like I said, Gremlins was one of my favorite movies growing up, and it was pretty good. So, let's see how I can get her out without damaging the box, because I do want to rebox her. And like I said last time, this time with Greta, you can go from the top without ripping the box. But to get Beetlejuice and Lydia out, I said it was easier to go from the bottom. To get Greta out, it's easier to go from the top. And that's only if you want to preserve these boxes like I do. Let me slide out our lovely little lady. Oh my god. Oh my god, she came with the certificate of authenticity. They didn't do that last time, so awesome for me to open her up. They didn't do this. I think this is the first time they've ever done it. Whoops. I just ripped a little bit of that cardboard that no one's ever gonna see. So, good thing I have scissors here. I wanna... Oh, it's not signed or anything. It's not a pamphlet. Okay, I don't have to take this off. Well, I had to take it off. So, it came with the certificate of authenticity. So that's really cool. This certifies that your Monster High Skullector X Gremlins 2, the new batch Greta doll, spawned through the collaborative efforts of designers and artists through Mattel. Signed by Rebecca Shipman. Oh my god, that's so cool. This is the first time they gave us a certificate of authenticity for these dolls. Because I do know that OOAK, one of a kind doll creators, are recreating the Beetlejuice and that sort of thing because people just didn't want to pay for Beetlejuice, especially because they heard of the poor quality. And so I guess that's to prove if one of those people wanted to like resell it and say, oh, it's an official. So I guess they're trying to prevent that from happening with Greta. So that's really cool. I really love that they did that. That's cool. They should have done that with all of them. But I guess they're learning. But they didn't learn enough because apparently, and I didn't know this, because obviously I managed, oh my god, it's a mirror! Sorry. Greta sold out in, I believe, 3 minutes. And I didn't know that because I managed to get her. I bought her within like a minute to 2 minutes because I had timers and everything set up to get her because I was not going to miss out on her. Apparently, sadly, I did hear a bunch of scalpers managed to get her. I did hear of doll collectors, especially one of my good doll collectors, Dillsack. I think that's only their TikTok name. I think they have a... Once I find their YouTube handle, I'll put it here. I think they managed to snag one, and they're a huge doll collector, not just Monster High like me, so definitely check them out. They managed to snag one, but sadly, it was kind of a repeat of the Pennywise disaster. At least it wasn't under a minute, it was within 3 minutes, but it's a little unfortunate that those scalpers managed to get her. And the sad part is, it's unlikely they're doing a second drop because they never did a second drop with Beetlejuice or Lydia that we know of. So I hope we get a second drop of her just because my heart goes out to the collectors that weren't able to get her like I luckily was. Hopefully they do a second drop because so far I'm in love with her. I haven't really gotten to the touchy-feely bits of this portion of the review, but she's just gorgeous. And that sucks that, you know, bad people want to make money off of people who are just passionate about their collections. So, okay. So yeah, one thing from someone I heard that already got the Greta doll, that's why I was just fingering her hair. That came out bad. Her hair's greasy. I hate that. Yeah, so she does have, it's not as bad as theirs came out, but mine does have a little bit, that's why it's a little, I guess that's why it's a little sheeny. It doesn't matter since I'm going to keep her in the box, but I hate when the dolls get the greasy hair. I don't know what causes it. Like, where is she? So I have this, I forget the official line name, like what her name, I know her name, this is Rochelle, forgot the, like, doll line. Like the exact, it was like the Ghouls Night Out or something. Her hair, it's greasy. And she came out of the box like this, just greasy. And so I'm not 100% sure what causes it. I never Googled it or looked it up or any of that. I think it has something to do with the plastic in the head that it just, like, juices leaked. And so I think it just kind of progressed worse on that Rochelle doll, Rochelle Goyle, because she's kept out of the box. Because I am an unboxer, obviously. I am keeping Greta in the box. That's why I'm not taking her out of the ties, just because she's special. So hopefully her hair doesn't progress to get, like, really gross like that. But it's just, some of the dolls get it, some of the dolls don't. I don't know what exactly causes that greasiness. My Skullector, Scaris doll, like when Skullector was first introduced, she was like that. So, once again, like I said, she's got the leopard dress. Sorry, I'm like flipping. I thought she had panties on. It's like they gave her panties? So it's her belly scales. I'm sorry that I'm flashing. Not that you care, because a hoe never get co. I just was like, she got panties on. I saw it out of the corner of my eye in the camera. No, it's her belly plates, like a snake. I'm sorry, I feel so inappropriate doing that. I'll just put that down. She's got the belly plates. Again, haven't seen Gremlins, watch it. She's got belly plates like the Gremlins do. Like I said, her legs are scaled. Shoe Sculpt also has scaling. They're it's like an alligator meets a rose bush. That's the best way to describe it. Not a big fan of this shoe sculpt. Beetlejuice and Lydia probably has my favorite shoe sculpts out of the Skullectors, and then the twins, and then Pennywise, and then her, sadly. This is my favorite doll out of the Skullectors by far. I loved all the Skullectors. She surpasses them in the appearance, the fact that she is the first monster, and not just human variation of a human creature, or just dead human. She's got scaling on her hands, too. I know I got a little bit higher quality of a camera this time around, but not high enough to really show. And she does have 3 fingers. They did a good job on the nails. I'm so happy, because sometimes I see them do, like, the paint job on the nails, and it's just, like, they'll do, like, try to paint the nails, and it goes, like, halfway up the finger. And I'm like, last I checked, my fingernail isn't that high, and her fingernail isn't that high. Gizmo, they made pretty cute. He's a little interesting. He's very shiny. He's not like the classic pets. He's got almost kind of the reboot style of the pets in the face, I feel like. While she is like the classic original style of Monster High, I feel like they went with the reboot style for the Monster High pets with Gizmo. There's an actual mirror. You saw me getting excited about this mirror just a second ago. There, so that's really cool that they did that with the box. And the box is just the background of the little laboratory. There's the gender serum that turned Greta Gremlin into Greta Gremlin. So yeah, that's what the background is. And this little platform Gizmo's on is actually where your stands are hidden. So it bulges out so Gizmo can sit on it, and then that's where your stands are. Back there is your certificate of authenticity. So she has like a vinyl jacket. It's made out of vinyl. Ooh, that's really soft. The fur on her jacket's pretty soft. It's got studs right here and here. She's got the hoops. Oh god, that looks like that hurts. So I don't know if I can get... The hoop goes all the way through. I'm like, I myself am a lady of big earrings, but that just looks painful. She's got her little rose. I wish they did a little more detail in that, just because it looks like a cheap barrette I can get at the dollar store. I mean, oh, and the purse. The purse, so the gremlin featured on the cover of the purse is actually not from the second movie. It is from the first. So that is Stripe. He's the main antagonist gremlin in the first movie. So that's cool. They kind of did a throwback to the first movie, even though they're doing a doll purely based off the second movie. And Gizmo's featured in both the movies, so that's cute. Her hair's curly. Oh, maybe that's why it's greasy. They did hairspray or something. So she's got curly, and these curls are stiff. Like, you see me squishing it, and I'm putting some force on this. It is not really budging. Like, I'm not like, but I'm like putting enough to like, if it was just curled hair without sprayed, it would have smushed. So yeah, they hairsprayed this hair to make it keep those curls intact. So I guess over time, if you were an unboxer and wanted to keep her on the shelf, those curls would deflate. Because it's happened to some of my other dolls. I got to do a whole hair fixing on a bunch of my dolls on the shelf because, oh god, it's been a mess. But for her, she's gonna stay in the box for the most part. I only unboxed her right now just so I can really give y'all a good, thorough enough review without really taking her out. Because I don't want to ruin her. Not that I've ruined any of my dolls. She's got these big, beautiful ears, and they are... trying to get... yeah, so they are, I don't know if you can see, there is like a little seam between the head and the ears. So yeah, that's cool. They like melded it to the head. I like popped them in. She's got, like some little bumps along the side of her chin to still give her that creature gremlin aspect with still making her cute. She's got little bumps, all these little green dots on her face. Here and here, those are raised. They aren't just flat paint, those are raised. So she is an original sculpt. We need more of this. This is what Skullector should be more of. Not bashing any of the other Skullector dolls. I'm very grateful that I have them and they're beautiful. But this is definitely a step in the right direction in my opinion. She's beautiful. Please step it up with the shoes though. Come on, you could have done something better. Like, that's just my opinion. Like, overall, 10 out of 10 doll. Like I said last video, for a brand of fashion dolls known for their shoe sculpts, step it up. Like, this is just a high heel that looks like a rose bush. I mean, cool, but I mean, it leaves me wanting more, especially when you gave us some awesome shoe sculpts with Beetlejuice and Lydia. And those were probably the poorest reviewed dolls out of the Skullectors. And the shoe sculpts on the Grady twins were also killer. If you haven't gotten a look at them, they are the hedge mazes from The Shining. And that's cool. And then you got Pennywise, and it's just clown shoes. Cool, and it looks like you just kind of took Venus McFlytrap's shoes and painted them to look like clown shoes. So again, please step it up a little more to like the Beetlejuice and the Shining Twins scale with all the shoe sculpts. That's just my opinion. I'm grateful for all these dolls, honestly. I'm just happy to get Monster High back. That's just my critique. But no way am I bashing these dolls, because I've loved every single one of them. There's no doll that I've regretted buying out of the Skullectors. Even though Beetlejuice had the flaw with like the messed up hat and like strings on it, I still loved it. It still went on the toppity top of my shelf. But yeah, so a couple things I wanted to talk about that have been mentioned about the Greta release. When she was first released, I was a little disappointed with the way people received it. It was just a lot of complaining. I want a Chucky doll. Bring me Corpse Bride. I want Coraline. I want this. I want that. And it's like, be grateful we're getting a second Skullector drop, especially after how poorly the Beetlejuice one did. So it was a lot of the bashing that we're getting Gremlin. What's Gremlins? Who wants that? I want that. Oh my god, when I saw the teaser images for Greta, I was just like, oh my god, it's Gremlins! Like, I was so excited. And so, like, to see just the comment sections on Mattel Creations Rebecula, the designer, and Monster High just complaining. I want this, I want that, I want this. Why can't I have this? I want it now! Guys, that's not the Monster High way. That's not, like, be grateful for what we're getting, because this is beautiful. Oh my god, she's gorgeous. And they gave us a pet. This is the first one where we've gotten a pet. She's gorgeous. And she's got a purse, too. Come on, guys. And the first monster-y doll. Like, and so I was just a little upset to see the complaining. So I've thought about it, and I've thought about what I've wanted to say in regards to that, and there's a couple reasons why I believe we're not getting certain dolls that y'all are requesting. And I have 3 reasons why we might not be seeing certain dolls that we would like to see. And so, one reason, and this goes more towards stuff like Corpse Bride, Coraline, or Nightmare Before Christmas, is I think Monster High is kind of trying to stay away from things that are more kid-like. And those movies all are rated PG. And yes, while Coraline and Corpse Bride have darker themes, and Coraline is a little more mature for a kid's movie, especially with the scene with the big booby lady and how creepy it is, it's still a kid's movie. And I know you can argue, well, Beetlejuice and Gremlins, the first one, are rated PG. Well, for those who don't know, back in the day, in the 80s, PG-13 did not exist. And so, if you go back and watch Gremlins and Beetlejuice, you'd see a lot of things that would make those movies PG-13 by our standards now. Like I said earlier, the Gremlins killed a lot of people in the first movie. They were just straight up murdering people, and they cursed in the Gremlins. One girl actively talked about, suicide, and gave a very dark and descriptive reason why she hated Christmas. And then with Beetlejuice, for one, this is the immediate would make this movie automatically PG-13. Beetlejuice drops the F-bomb, not once, but twice in that movie. And Beetlejuice is a pervert. There's a whorehouse in Beetlejuice. He lifts the skirts of 2 women. He gropes them. And there's a lot of suicidal imagery in Beetlejuice. Lydia herself wanted to herself. And things that kids shouldn't really be exposed to at a young age. And things that wouldn't make that movie PG by our standards. So, that's why I can see why Corpse Bride and Coraline and Nightmare Before Christmas want to get Skullector dolls. Because the Skullectors are 14 plus and more towards adults. And I say 14 plus because it says it on the box, 14 plus. But they are marketing these more towards an adult audience. And so, yeah, especially with the modern age of those kids' movies, I mean, there is a genre of kids' horror. We've got Monster House, we have Goosebumps. There's just tons of other kids' horror, but I wouldn't necessarily say Corpse Bride or Coraline is enough to surpass into a darker realm to make it adult. My second reasoning is those movies, especially Coraline, Corpse Bride, and Nightmare Before Christmas, they're already animated. And so, well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with already being animated? Well, the issue behind that is it would be not as unique to turn something that's already animated into Monster High style. It's just not, there's not much of a transition there. And so I can see that's why they're kind of staying away from stuff that's already animated, that already has, like, preposterous, proportions compared to, like, a real human body. Because Monster High has very specific proportions for their characters. And to put, Pennywise and the Grady twins and Beetlejuice in these proportions, it's iconic. It stands out. To take Emily from Corpse Bride and put her in those proportions when she's already animated and already has, cartoony and strange proportions for a creature character, I can see why it doesn't work out. I could see maybe Other Mother in the spider form being pulled off like that, and I could see that being cool. But it doesn't really work like that, just in my opinion, and I can see why they would stray away from things that are already animated and wanting to stick to cult classic live action horror movies or monstery or creature features. And my third reasoning, and this one doesn't really apply to Corpse Bride, but it applies to a lot of the other movies y'all, or characters y'all are demanding. For those who don't know, all the characters that we have gotten for Skullectors are distributed by Warner Brothers. Gremlins, It, The Shining, and Beetlejuice were all distributed by Warner Brothers. And yes, Corpse Bride is a Warner Brothers movie. But I still, for the first two reasons, I can see why we want to get Corpse Bride, but they have to have permission to make dolls based off of characters. They can't just be like, oh, I'm just gonna make this and get away with it, mass produce it, and make a bunch of money off it. Not mass produce it, but you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not like they're independent artists making these, like the OOAK people. They're a company, and so they have to have rights and collaborative permission to collaborative permission to collaborate with them. So Warner Brothers probably gave them permission to use monsters under the Warner Brothers universe. So that's how we got Pennywise. That's how we got The Shining. And I think anything Stephen King is Warner Brothers, if I remember correctly. Gremlins is Warner Brothers. Beetlejuice is Warner Brothers. And yes, while Corpse Bride may be Warner Brothers as well, for the first two reasons, I think that might not be, or that may be why we're not getting an Emily and Victor doll. Just because it's kids and it's animated. But for your other, like, complaints, I want Chucky, I want Coraline, I want Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm telling you straight up, we're not getting Nightmare Before Christmas. Disney will not allow that because they're going to be like, okay, yeah, we'll allow it, but you have to sell it for $200. Because Disney's money hungry. And if you don't agree with that, you should look at their collector dolls. Because they sell for way too much. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. But, yeah, we're not getting no Sally and Jack dolls. From Monster High, at least. And I know there are Corpse Bride dolls that aren't produced by Monster High. I don't know who produced them, but there are Corpse Bride dolls out there that you can get. I don't know the company, you just have to Google it. So if you really want an Emily and Victor doll, they're out there, they exist, and they're produced by, you know, the makers of the movie, or it's not produced, but it's the official merchandise for it. But my main thing is just stop complaining and stop, like, going after the creators of, like, the sculpts. I see y'all going after the designers. I wanted Chucky! Okay, you know, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. Like, be happy. Be happy we're getting Monster High back. And maybe one day we'll get lucky enough to get Chucky. Maybe they'll sign a deal with whatever production company Chucky was released by. I know that it wasn't Warner Brothers, though, because I did research. I actually did research. But I did look up Chucky. It wasn't Warner Brothers. It was something else. I did enough research to know it wasn't Warner Brothers, but not to remember what it was. But yeah, just, guys, be happy with what we're getting and stop, like, picking fights with Monster High and Mattel. So please, just be happy with what we're getting, like, and bashing this doll when it was released, or the teaser images were released. Ugh, who wants Gremlins? I want Emily. I want Sally. I want Chucky. I want Coraline. I want Michael Myers. Nobody said Michael Myers, but I'm just listing the top ones that were always... There were a ton of them. I'm not targeting just one or two comments. And just seeing those comments was really sad. all those entitled, I want this, I want that, gimme, gimme, gimme comments. Come on, guys. She's beautiful. Like, how are you not happy with this? Like, look at her. She's the first Skullector to come with a pet. She's the first Skullector to be a creature, to have 3 fingers, to have creature features, scales, big, beautiful ears, an original sculpt. This is huge. This is a sign that Monster High is coming back with new characters. And while she's not, like, their official character, it's a sign that they're willing to create new stuff. So just let them work. And definitely don't bully the designers, because they're going to be like, you kids don't deserve anything. Because that's what y'all are acting like when y'all go, I want Emily, I want this, I want that, gimme, gimme, gimme. But other than that, I love her. She's my favorite out of the Skullector sets. And yeah, I agree that we can all have our opinions on what we'd like to see next, but just the all caps typing, I want this, exclamation, 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 it's inappropriate. And I think it needs to stop. So yeah, definitely let's ease up on that. Support Monster High and what they're trying to bring us. Bring us as collectors and fans. Because I've been a fan since 2011. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled with what they're giving me. And, you know, this is a step up from Beetlejuice. And I think that's why she sold out in 3 minutes. Is because they did a limited quality, a little less than Beetlejuice. I think Beetlejuice, they made more, and that's why the quality was poor. This sold out in 3 minutes. Pennywise sold out in less than a minute in the first drop, and I think under 5 minutes in the second drop. Still, they're giving us nice quality things for the most part, putting Beetlejuice aside. So let's be happy. Let's look at this doll. She's great. So again, guys, let's love what we got and not hate what we don't. Anyways, that's Greta. Let's do one last look-see over her. She's just fabulous. I'm really thrilled with her. I'm still sad they're not giving us limited edition prints anymore like they did with the Shining and Pennywise, but at least we're getting it. And so that's it. If you haven't seen the Beetlejuice review and unboxing, definitely check that video out. Please like, comment, subscribe, do whatever. You can follow me on Instagram for cosplay content, because this is cosplay more than anything. I just do unboxings on the side, but I hope to bring more unboxings to y'all in the future for hopefully more Monster High. But maybe some anime figures and that sort of thing. And if you do like the creature, sexy creature sort of stuff, definitely check out Horror Bishoujo. They are a franchise or a line of figures that does sexy anime figures of horror monsters like Freddy Krueger and Pennywise and that sort of thing. I showed my Pennywise figurine the last episode of the doll unboxing, so again, check that out. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow. I've already said that. And yeah, so thank you for joining us, me and Greta here, for a wonderful unboxing and discussion.